All right, it's your boy Conserviz 34, and today I wanted to make a live video chilling out here in South Beach, out here right next to Miami, Florida, and been on vacation the last couple of days, enjoying the nice sunny weather, soaking up some of the local attractions, and just enjoying myself here before I head back to Connecticut tomorrow. And one of the things I did today, which we'll talk about in a moment, is I listened to Dave Matthews Band album in its entirety while running about 6 miles, having a warm up and a cool down. Get 70 minutes through today for Before These Crowded Streets, the third studio album by Dave Matthews Band. But I am in Florida, and wow, it's been a great time out here. Almost went to a Sixers Heat game. I am a Philadelphia 76ers fan, but the Sixers closed the series as I was landing on Tuesday, so that contingent game 6 did not happen. Got my money back. I went to the Florida Keys. I went to see the Miami Marlins. I do talk a little baseball and sports here and there. I'm a big guy when it comes to talking about attendance, venue size, fan support. Those are my big things that you may see me tweet about, retweet about. I don't know stats. I know players, but I don't necessarily know as much strategy with sports. But I'm fascinated with the whole idea of fan support, venue size, markets, and how they all interact with sports. So to go to the Marlins Stadium to be part of history and be part of the lowest attended Marlins game in the new ballpark's history, it was interesting. It was cool to see here. And I got to give the fans credit here in Miami. It's some beautiful weather out here. And if I lived out here instead of Connecticut, I may care a little less about sports. I'd be trying to enjoy the weather year round that is beautiful and sunny. But the fans that were at this game, I know Marlins fans get a lot of bad kind of publicity and they get a bad rap. But the fans that were at the game, for the most part, were happy to be there. They had Marlins gear. It wasn't like they were all just showing up in street clothes. You know, there were a lot of people with Marlins gear. And even the people that were just there to be at the game because it was something to do, they were getting into it. And it's tough to get into a team that only has 7 wins so far. But the fan base really supported the team, even though it was the lowest attended game ever. And I'm a little biased. I'm a Yankees fan, so Derek Jeter is the owner down there. I really think that what he's trying to do is the right approach. I think he could be a little better PR wise and how he announces things, how he addresses the criticism. He's not handling the criticism well. He had an interview, I believe it was with Brian Gumble, that is going to be coming out, and he doesn't take it on the chin like in his professional career where people would go after him, but he took it with class. I think he needs to learn how to take the criticism. People are going to ask him why he's cutting payroll and things like that, and he could be better at that. But anyway, that's just kind of the stuff I've been doing this week in here in the Miami area. I'll be back in CT doing video after video coming up next week. And I want to talk about, again, Before These Crowded Streets. It turns 20 today. Next year, it'll be able to drink alcohol because it'll be 21. But I did want to share some of my thoughts on this album. And this album, to me, is not the best DMB album, and I'll talk about why in a moment. But it has one of the best runs ever. I think the best run, actually, that any Dave Matthews Band album has, song after song after song. And it starts with Halloween and ends with Spoon, and that's tracks 6 through 11. Every one of those songs is amazing. The first thing we want to talk about with Before These Crowded Streets, we'll go song by song. PNP, I won't try to pronounce it, good intro. And then Rapunzel. Rapunzel, to me, is the best produced, crispest sounding studio track that I've ever heard from the band. Front to back, it's amazing how this production is. Steve Lillywhite being that producer for this album. It's amazing, and that's all I can say. You have The Last Stop Next, a great song, a great journey, a lot of energy. And this is a song that's hard to replicate live, and I think that's why it doesn't get as much play. Everyone wants the last stop, but Dave, at this age, it's a lot for him to do, especially with the touring that this band does, and Dave only getting older. The timing, the tempos can be tricky too. So the last stop, that it's a great song, but I think it's hard to bring out live, especially at this era of the band. Then we have Don't Drink the Water. Now, this is just my opinion. A lot of people love this song. It's about, colonizers, people trying to take land from natives, and doing a lot of bad stuff to do that, to manifest destiny. That was blood in the water. And I like the studio version of this, especially with Bella Fleck, from Bella Fleck and the Fleck Tones. I like the slow tempo of the studio version, and I like how the studio version is it builds up. The choruses build up chorus by chorus, and it's acoustic driven in the studio. I don't like the 2018 version of this song. I don't like the 2016 version. That's the last time I heard it live, but it was played earlier this year in Minnesota. And the reason being is the tempo is too fast live, and I also think that the electric guitar ruins the build-up. Tim Reynolds plays very well, but he plays too loud at the beginning. It doesn't need a loud beginning. I like the slow build-up, that tiny acoustic sound at the beginning, with a little banjo in the studio, and then it builds up to the breakdown. So that's my only critique, is I don't like Don't Drink the Water in 2018, but I do like the older versions. Stay, number 5, a great song to run to when it's a beautiful day like it was here in South Florida, and it's the radio single. It's the song that is going to be more mainstream, but it's still a great song. Now here's where we get to tracks 6 through 11. These are the tracks that are part of this best run ever of the band. And first we have Halloween. It's Halloween, man. Like, Dave has some issues. He was trying to wife up this chick, and she was like, nah, I'm good. So it's just a great dark song. And then The Stone, another great dark song. To me, The Stone is my favorite Dave Matthews Band song to hear live. It just has so much energy, and it's so rare to see live that's part of it. It was the first song I ever heard back in 2012, and as far as the first song of the first set I ever saw this band live, and it's still, even if it wasn't the first song I heard, I love the song. And then we have Crush, which is the jazzy, bluesy type song. I love jazzy DMB, and it just again, it continues. It builds off what the Stone has. You go from this intense story to just going to a nice little jazz club, and then from there you get some more variety with the Dreaming Tree. Dreaming Tree is the Jacob's Ladder of the Dave Matthews Band catalog. Jacob's Ladder is a song by Rush, and it builds up, and there's different parts of it, and it's about the same length as the Dreaming Tree, give or take a minute or two, and that's what this is for DMB. It's their Jacob's Ladder. We then have Pig. Pig is why people love and hate Dave Matthews Band. It's cliche, it's super positive, and it's cliche. Did I mention, again, it's cliche, but this is what I like about this band. When you need a pick-me-up, when you want something positive, if it's a nice day out, or you're trying to be happy, Pig is a song that is DMB and DMB at its finest. But again, it's polarizing. People will like it or they'll hate it because it's too cliche. But I love Pig, and I saw it live in 2016 for the first time, right before the boys took a break. Great song. We get Spoon at the end. Now, I will say I love Spoon. I love the breakdown of Spoon. But the lyrics and the beginning of this song can be overrated by fans. The reason being is Alanis Morissette does sing here. Bella Fleck is playing his little banjo for part of this song. And those two people, Bella and Alanis, it just makes it a bigger song. Oh my gosh, Dave is singing. At the time, Alanis Morissette was popping. and Dave and Alanis, you know, they had a little thing going too. So, but I think it's a great song, but the beginning can be overrated. The jam breakdown is what this song is all about, and but it's a great way to cap off or finish this album. Uh, Running to this song just affirmed why I think that this album, while great, isn't the best Dave Matthews Band album. The reason being is, again, I'm in South Florida here on vacation, jogging on a sunny day. This album is not made for sunny days. It's not. It's dark. It's before these crowded streets, and the picture of the album is at nighttime in a city, and it's for a cloudy day, a rainy day, a nighttime jog that you may have, or just a nighttime stroll. And you have albums like Crash, you have albums like Under the Table of Dreaming, and the Lily White Sessions that you can use them in more scenarios than just a cloudy, rainy day. Now, I enjoy listening to the album while it was sunny, but listening to Halloween when it's bright and sunny and you're in Miami Beach, I mean, it's not, doesn't match your feeling, but it still was awesome. So that's the thing about this album. The best run of this album, Halloween to Pig. Only one of those songs is good for a sunny day, which is Pig. Everything else is not meant for that. And then you have Stay Wasting Time, which falls out of that track range I just said. Another great sunny day song. But other than that, the rest of the album is meant for nighttime. So that's really all I have to say about that for Before These Crowded Streets. I think a lot of these songs are hard to execute, but I wish they were played more. Playing the Stone, I've literally played with the track, and I've tried to play it by myself. It's hard to get the picking right, and your hands not dying and are falling off. So that's why I think it's so rare, especially nowadays. Dave's getting older. You don't see it as much. Like I said before, Last Stop, it's a song that's very hard to replicate and play correctly. Dreaming Tree, same thing. The Dreaming Tree has been great. I heard it June 7, 2013. But there's been other times in recent history, I believe it was Berkeley, and a couple other times where it's been a little rough. It's been tough to go through. And same thing with Halloween. It's a song that is played, while it's a rarity from this album, it's played. You still see it. But again, it takes a lot of energy from Dave as far as to sing. And to sing that when you're touring as frequently as this band does, it's hard to, again, to replicate and to have it on point. But this is a great album. And I hope that it gets a lot of play this summer. And I also hope that there is a vinyl re-release for this album. It was released and it's super rare, and it's something that was released in a limited quantity back in the day, and the prices on eBay are expensive, but hopefully we'll see what happens. And then Dave Matthews Band Facebook and Twitter teased that they talked about Backhead, a song that few people have heard in this world. They talked about how that was kind of something that, hey, this is something that's never been released. So hopefully it's on the re-release of the vinyl for Before These Crowded Streets. I'm interested to see what the price will be for the vinyl re-release. I don't see how they're not going to re-release this on vinyl. They did it with Crash, Under the Tables and Dreaming. And also with Remember Two Things, I believe, there was a re-release. So I think it will come out on vinyl, and you'll probably get a CD or digital download as well. And you'll have some extra tracks, some live stuff, or some rare recordings, just like you had with Under the Table and Dreaming, where you did have a granny recording and a couple other tracks that kind of were added on. But the price is the biggest thing. The sad thing is I'll probably pay for anything. I shouldn't tell management what I'll pay for, because they'll probably price it that high. But I'll probably pay $80, up to $80 for this. It may be more, especially if there's a bonus side or an extra set of tracks. But I really hope that it is affordable, the remastering or re-release of Before These Crowded Streets, because I do want to get it. I want fans that are trying to save some pennies to be able to afford this and listen to it on vinyl. But other than that, happy birthday to Before These Crowded Streets. It's your boy ConcertViz34. Again, I will be ramping up these videos as the spring and summertime come through, and there are more concerts that I can talk about, more subjects that come up. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. If you're watching this live, I saw one person pop in and pop out. If you watch this from the recording. But I am out.